Hi, and welcome to Random Rogers Big Picture for the week of February 1st. Big sports event going on, obviously, and that, of course, would be the Red Sox signed Jason Varitek to a one-year deal. Red Sox Nation can look forward to another year of 218 hitting, maybe 4 home runs and, 25 RBIs. I don't know what the right answer for them to do is. Anywho, I read one article, I think I linked to this through FT Alphaville on Wall Street Journal. If I can find it again, I will post it underneath the video. But the article talked about what some gurus, investment gurus, do with their money or are doing with their money now, all of this stuff. And they had Don Phillips from Morningstar, which I didn't realize he was a guru, Burton Malkiel, Jeremy Siegel, Muriel Siebert. Does she go by Mickey? Is that her nickname? Whatever. Muriel Siebert. Jack Bogle was in there. If you'll read it, one thing that may ring a bell is, or not ring a bell, but stick out as being very odd, is Don Phillips has an inordinate amount of his money in something called the Clipper Fund. I don't know the fund very well. The name is familiar, and I don't remember what it is. Someone left a comment implying in that rant last week about Chris Davis that it's something that Chris Davis manages. I don't know that that's true or not, but the article made the point of saying that this thing trailed the market by 13% in 2008, and it made it seem like Phillips from Morningstar has like all of his IRA or all of his 401k in the one fund. What? Anywho, so while I am no guru, I thought it would be interesting to talk a little bit about kind of what I do and why and how it relates, I think, to something else. I keep that little truthism or whatever, I like that word, truthism, about having, 3 months or 6 months worth of cash set aside. Well, I probably have more than that. I probably have more than a year's worth of cash set aside. I am peculiarly conservative on things like that. My parents struggled mightily with their personal finances. Just a lot of bad decisions, and at their expense, I've learned a lot. And one thing is to, not run out of money. So I have, relative to our needs, I have a lot of cash set aside. The money that I actually invest through most of this was probably about half in cash. Maybe more like 40% cash as I think about it, which is a little more than clients. A lot of overlap, though, with what I own for clients. The stuff, that I own for them, I think are the best proxies to capture, various parts of the market. And so, I'm 42, so I've got different priorities. And it's not like I've got millions stashed or anything like that. It's, I might be on pace or maybe I'm a little behind. I don't know. But not wealthy, so I need the money to grow. So the things that I use to help clients' money grow, those are the best things that I think there are. Not that I'm right. There's nothing to do with being right or wrong. Those are the ones that I believe in. And so there's a lot of crossover. There are a couple of things I own that probably are not ideal for clients, but that I own. For example, and it's been crushed. I think it'll be something one day, but it's been crushed. I own HyFlux for personally. Don't own it for any clients. It's a Singapore. It's a water company. I own a couple of more currency things than most clients own, including Norwegian bonds. I included myself on that purchase, but themes like water, Plum Creek Timber, defense. Things like that. I've got exposure, Australia, all of these things. Hey, Tater, all of those things that I write about, I believe in, and so I own them. The mix, I'd say the biggest difference really is the mix. I wrote about this ages ago on the blog. The reason why the mix is different is that my entire livelihood is derived from the stock market. So, in a way, if somehow the stock market does in either my firm or any of the sites I write for or whatever, where I make money, not including the tens of dollars I make every month with the blog, then I've got a lot of eggs in the stock market basket in general, so that's why I had a little more cash than what most clients do. It's just my idea of what is right for my personal situation. Now, a couple of the things that I own that are not necessarily client holdings have been pasted. That HighFlux has just been obliterated. It will, in terms of price, the everything that turned me on to the company, it hadn't really changed much, but stock's down a lot. I've got enough cash that I don't need to freak out, and this is where I'm going to talk about something that's a little more useful to probably you, the end user of the video, which is about behavior. People's behaviors really do themselves in. I mentioned this on the blog, and I like this quote. I stumbled across it by accident in conversation with someone. And I'm quoting myself. I think I came up with this. The two things that are the biggest threats to success of a financial plan are poor performance and poor decision making. You don't have a whole lot of control over performance. You've got some control, but you have far more control over poor decision making. Things, big picture, like living beyond your means. A lot of people do that, and that's just it blows people up. That's all I can say is it blows people up. They live beyond their means. I've written about that enough times. Hopefully, that resonates, with you. Hopefully, you can learn from someone else's mistakes with that regard. Panicking at the wrong time. The stock market works a certain way. It's up most of the time. It's down occasionally, a little less frequently. It's down a lot, like I said in the blog, I think on Friday. Just how it works, it's how it's always going to work. All of the stuff about greed and those things ties in with something I write about often. I'm not going to solve the world problems. Dylan Ratigan is going on all day about clawbacks. Yeah, they probably should claw back some of those bonuses. Probably. And I say some. I don't know whether they should or not. It's not my problem. The financial sector became toxic. Not toxic, that's way too strong. It warned of trouble ages ago. It didn't warn what kind of trouble, but it warned of trouble ages ago. So I got out effectively, just reduced the exposure a lot. And these things, just things I don't have to even think about. That's kind of where I would rather be, what I would rather focus on, is heed these simplistic little warnings, and then just not have to worry about a lot of the crap that people are talking about. Muriel Siebert held Wachovia all the way down, and now she holds Wells Fargo. Yumpin Yiminy, brutal stuff, and I just want to avoid being in that position, which is a huge motivation, and avoid putting clients in that position, which is a huge motivation for a lot of these little tricks that I look for. All right, that's it. Enjoy the Super Bowl.